Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have another meal prep video for you. Today's going to be a really simple meal prep. I am just going to prep some of my basic things and then one lunch item. I plan on having leftovers for the rest of the days for lunch. So let's get into the video. Okay, so of course I did shred up a bunch of cheese. I like to have that all shredded up and ready to go for the week. Also cooked some bacon in the air fryer. And then I also made some hard-boiled eggs. So I like to use the 5-5-5 method to hard-boil the eggs in the pressure cooker. So I just put them on 5 minutes on the steam setting. And then I let them cook for 5 minutes, and then I let them do a natural release for 5 minutes. And then I put them into an ice bath for at least 5 minutes. Usually it's longer. And as you guys can see, they peel like a dream. This is the best way to do hard-boiled eggs. I swear, you guys, if anything, the pressure cooker Instant Pot is the best for eggs. So let's go into what I'm going to have for lunch this week. I'm going to be making an Alfredo spinach lasagna. I don't really have a name for it. So first off, we have to make our noodles for the lasagna. So I'm just going to use the same recipe from the Just Like the Real Thing lasagna because I know it works out really well. I will put that original recipe link down below so you can find those noodle recipe. So you're going to need to put 2 large eggs and 4 ounces of cream cheese into a bowl. And then you're going to blend that all up until it's all nice and mixed up. And then I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of grated parmesan cheese. This is just the kind in the green can. And then also add in some Italian seasonings, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. And then we're just going to mix that all up. And then we're going to fold in 1 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese, the shredded mozzarella cheese. So we're going to go ahead and fold that all together. And then we're going to spread that mixture in a parchment-lined 9x13 casserole dish. Now, I didn't spread mine out as well as I should have, but so you want to spread it all the way out to the edges so that way you get a really nice rectangular square with all the corners. And you want to go ahead and bake this for 20 to 25 minutes, and then you're going to let it cool for at least 20 minutes before you handle it. Otherwise, it kind of falls apart a little bit easy. But once it's all cooled, it is amazing how good these work for noodles. Okay, so next up, I'm going to go ahead and start making the ground chicken. So I have some ground chicken here. I'm just going to go ahead and brown that up. And then once that's all browned up, I also added some salt and pepper, and I used the everyday seasoning from Trader Joe's. Use whatever seasonings you want to spice up your ground chicken. And then we're going to move on to making the Alfredo sauce. So for the Alfredo sauce, in a saucepan, you want to add in 2 tablespoons of butter and some minced garlic. And then you want to let that melt and cook that garlic and butter together until it just starts to brown. And then you want to add in 2 ounces of cream cheese. And you want to go ahead and get that melted a little bit. And then you're going to add in 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. And then bring that to a simmer, and then you want to go ahead and stir in 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. And then I also did add in some salt and pepper to that. So you want to whisk that up and then kind of don't let it bring to a boil though, because it'll scorch the milk or the heavy cream. So you want to go ahead and just have it simmering, and then just give that a good stir and set that aside. Okay, so now we're going to finish up the meat mixture. So to your ground chicken, you want to add in 1 cup of spinach, and then you want to add in the Alfredo sauce. And you want to go ahead and cook that until the spinach is nice and wilted. And go ahead and set that aside. Now our last layer is going to be the cheese filling. So I'm using cottage cheese. You can also use ricotta cheese, but in my stores, ricotta cheese is like twice the price of cottage cheese, and it's the same macros. So I'm using cottage cheese. You want 1/4 cup of that. And then 1/4 cup of either grated or shredded Parmesan cheese. I'm using shredded, and then also some Italian seasoning. So that's it for that layer. So now all of our layers are done. Also, I forgot to tell you guys to set aside 1/4 cup of the Alfredo sauce before you put it into your meat. And that's going to be our first layer in the loaf pan. So I'm putting in that Alfredo sauce, adding one of the noodles that I sliced into thirds, and then a layer of the meat mixture. And then you want to add in 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese on top of that. And then 3 tablespoons of the cheese filling. So we're going to repeat. We're going to do a noodle, some meat mixture, some mozzarella cheese, the cottage cheese filling, and then another noodle. So then the very top part is just going to put the rest of the meat mixture and add on some mozzarella cheese. And then we're going to put that into the oven and bake that at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. And here's what it looks like when it comes out. Now I need to let this set up a little bit. And when you guys see this, when I have lunches this week, you'll see how all the layers turned out. But I needed to get this video done. And so I'm not sure that you will see here all the different layers, but I want to let it cool completely before I cut it. So I will have this recipe, all the different fillings, all typed out down below in the description box. I will also have the Just Like the Real Thing lasagna recipe linked, because that is where I got the noodle recipe from, and that's a fantastic recipe as well. And I am ready for a successful week. I'm just going to mostly have leftovers for lunches this week as well, but I wanted to have one new lunch item, and this has been something that's been like rolling around in my head for a while, so I'm glad I could share it with you guys. I will let you guys know what I think and how it tastes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. If you're not subscribed, I hope you will take a moment to do so. Also, leave me a comment down below with what you meal prepped for the week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.